influence at all. You don't have influence. So you've got to do something to get it. Big mistake a lot of people do when they get on calls is they try to be buddy-buddy because maybe they learn from some kind of antiquated sales training to be like that. But we have so much more data now on the way that humans process information that you put yourself in the friend zone. And what happens when you're in the friend zone is you become an incompetent. And you say, how in the world do I do that? Well, let's take a simultaneous sip of our coffee and I'll explain that to you. That's some counterculture coffee. That's good. That's real good. Woo. Okay. The way that you become incompetent is that people's friends are basically on the same place of the hierarchy as they are. So they don't need you to solve, they can't solve their own problems. Their friends don't solve their problems. More often, their friends cause the problems. And when you automatically become a friend, you have just downgraded yourself from leader to friend. And being in the friend zone, it doesn't help you with somebody. Now, if you and that person become friends later on, that's fine. Okay, but in that moment, you're there to serve them in leadership capacity, not to be their buddy. Yeah, I'm not interested in being anybody's buddy because I know it's bad for them and for me. And you say, I have friends. I heard it's good to have friends everywhere, and your net worth is in conjunction with your network. Hey, that's good. I'm not disagreeing with that. But what I'm saying is in that situation, in the selling situation, you must assume leadership. This is what framing is built upon. It's solidifying yourself in the dominance hierarchy atop the person you're talking to in that moment. If you won't let me talk or guide you, how can I ever explain to you what I have? I'll be seen as a pesky leech. I'll be seen as a parasite, just like 15 other million salespeople. And nobody wants to have that. Nobody wants that title. They don't want to be like that. You don't have to be like that. You can establish frame control. And especially if you're selling a service, like you're selling consulting, if you're selling coaching, and you got to control that situation. You got to be able to sit or be on the phone with a prospect and command their attention. So how do you do that? Well, we have an entire course on this, but I'm going to get into it here as an overview because that's what I do on these calls. Okay, the purpose of these calls is to give you the basic overview of the mechanics so that you can get it reinforced. These calls are for our students primarily, and they have access to the back end of the program, so they're able to do this and understand a lot of the context. And I try to fill in understanding that we have different guests on here, but these calls are primarily geared towards our students. Now, when you're setting up your frame, there's a lot of ways you could do it. There's a lot of ways you could do it. Okay, it's not a trick, by the way, guys. This isn't magic. If you want to know magic, write your goals down every day. That's magic. But this isn't magic. This is leadership. This is a way. It's not the only way. But when you get a prospect on the phone, rather than shooting the breeze with them, you get them on the phone and you say something to this effect. Hey, Mary,